Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Right Amount of Rant podcast. I am your host, Rival, along with my good friend Julian. Say hi, Julian.
Hello.
All right, for those newcomers who've never been to the Right Amount of Rant podcast before, basically, long story short, the podcast is about any topic we find interesting, news articles we find out in the wild world of craziness and stuff that goes on, as well as video game news and stuff that we just find interesting. So, without any further ado, we're actually going to get to our first topic. The first topic is a little bit somber. It is about the very first man in space, unfortunately passing away. I'm going to try and do this.
Man.
Let's see. What is it? Alexei Levinov, the first human to walk in space, has died at the age of 85. And apparently the cause has nothing to do with spacewalking. But, first man in space ever, literally, ever passed away. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So the legendary cosmonaut, Levinov, the first human to walk in space, an experience that almost killed him, and later the commander of the Russian spacecraft that docked with NASA with a NASA Apollo capsule, symbolizing a historic thaw in the Cold War, has died after a long illness. The Russian space agency confirmed Friday he died at the age of 85. So this man lived a long life. He accomplished quite a bit in his life, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, just a bit.
And yes, just a bit. But you have to realize at a time when America and Russia were both, pushing to get to outer space, who was going to be the first one, to get into space, who was going to be the first one to land on the moon, all of these kind of things. They were using a lot of just purely theoretical stuff to get people to space. That's stuff that hadn't actually been proven yet. And this man got into a rocket and got launched into space. He was like, yeah, I'll do it. That's balls, man.
Damn.
It's also insanity.
He has the balls.
I don't know anybody alive today that would be like, oh, hey, so we're going to do this thing where we can teleport you across the planet. But we've never tested any of this stuff, and it doesn't work with the rats. So we're going to put you in the teleporter. Do you feel confident?
We need a human
There's only
guinea
two
pig.
types of people that'll step up here.
It was
There's
this
only
man.
two types of people that. What was that, Julian?
It was this man, Alex Leonov. I mean, a hard time saying names.
Leonov. Yeah. It's a Russian name, so it's Leonov. So, no, it's only two type of people that are going to step up to that. The people that are like, you know what? I trust the math. I trust you. And I want to make history. Or it's people like Florida Man who just hand over a beer and is like, let's do this. If I teleport and I merge with like a fly or like a rat or something, I'm just going to come out with superpowers, right? So.
Yeah, but this time was not a Florida Man.
Yeah, a lot of Florida Man. So, yes. So that's a brave man essentially passed away recently, but his wonderful expedition into space will never be forgotten. Everything that he accomplished will not be forgotten. It goes down in history as something that, it marks quite a bit of incredible levels of scientific breakthrough and everything. So it's interesting to see, to think that it wasn't that it wasn't that long ago. God, English is hard this morning.
It is.
It wasn't that long ago that we weren't able to go into space. Think about that. This man is only 85. He passed away at 85, meaning less than 100 years ago, no one had been in space. Think about that.
Nobody has the thought of going to space anyways. The technology wasn't caught up by that time. It was impossible. But I mean, 100 years ago.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's my point is that look at where we were. 100 years ago, we couldn't even get into space. And now we've got literal computers in our pockets.
Yep. Technology sometimes evolves way too fast.
Well, like technology always does evolve way too fast. People get accustomed, and then when it breaks down, they call into IT bitching, I don't understand why my telephone lines don't work. It's because you have,
that's why
the telephone
they have
is through
us.
the internet. What? Why do I pay you? You don't pay us. We're not your internet service provider. We just handle your cable. Well, fix my internet. No, go call someone else. So that was one of the calls that I got yesterday.
Oh my God.
So
Having
anyway,
a little bit of garage.
Yes. So it's essentially, that man, we salute you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Glory off. Go into the wild unknown once more. Enjoy thine rest, sir. All right, so on a slightly less topic, slightly somber topic, we're going to talk about something near and dear to plenty of people, mostly old people, usually around the age of 85 or so. Jeopardy. We're going to discuss Jeopardy and something that they did recently that they should probably do a little bit better fact checking on.
What did they do?
Thank you, Julian. Jeopardy recently.
This is Tetris we're talking about. This is one of my favorite games of all time. I play it all time whenever I get the chance.
Yes. So no, I know you really, 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 really like Tetris.
Oh, yeah.
You're really good at it, and you're good at games remotely similar to Tetris, and I hate you for it because you beat me in every one of those games.
Yeah, something tells me we shouldn't do any more competitive videos. Hey, you kick my ass in fighting games.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do some fighting games because I need to get my dignity back.
Anyways, back to Jeopardy.
Yeah, so Jeopardy did a thing where they should have paid a little more attention to the to the fact that, hey, this is actually a meme. So Jeopardy attempted to pass off what is known as a quote viral Tetris meme, one of those awful memes, as fact. So apparently, the thing that they attempted to do was they tried to say. The question originates from Twitter. It said basically claimed that the game's differently shaped blocks actually have names. Now, like the straight block, the square block, all those. They tried to claim that they had fictional names.
They have names?
And Jeopardy fell for it.
Oh my God.
And they claimed that these names were actually like legit canon for Tetris. So here are the names in order that they thought they actually were. Okay.
Oh boy, let's hear it.
Orange Ricky, Blue Ricky, Hero, Smash Boy, Tiwi, Rhode Island Z, Cleveland Z. Those are just some of them.
Wait, they have more names. Oh my God.
They have more names.
Oh boy.
But yeah, no, Tetris honestly thought that was like, oh, what are the names of the Tetris pieces? Are you out of your mind? And and Julian, who's never actually seen an episode of Jeopardy, do you know who Alex Trebek is, Julian?
Nope. So sorry, I don't know who that guy is.
He is the host of Jeopardy. He is the host of Jeopardy. Jeopardy's a game show where they get up there and they give like topics and stuff, and they give you like, these are the names of the Tetris pieces. And someone would have to answer in the form of a question by going, who is Blue Ricky? Who is Hero? Who is Tiwi? Who is Cleveland Z? Or what is? I don't know. So yeah. And Alex Trebek, who is notorious for looking a little smug when he reads these cards and the answers off like, oh no, I'm sorry. It was the Bering Strait. Alex, you didn't know shit. You didn't know anything. You're up there reading a card. You don't actually know these answers. Shut up. Quit acting smug.
Well, I mean, he has to act smug. Like, no, he knows the answer.
No, he doesn't know the answer. We all know he doesn't know the answer because he's got a card with the answer on it.
He cheats.
We all know it.
He's a cheater.
No, he's the host.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He cheats. He gets no money. Well, no, he gets paid from doing the job, but he doesn't anything. But no. So Tetris, the blocks in Tetris don't have names. It's not canon.
Well, I mean, there is a picture of a manual with names, but this manual might as well be fake.
It basically is fake.
Jesus. Wow.
So the whole point is Jeopardy failed to do their due diligence and their research. And as a result, now this little blunder has been immortalized in Jeopardy canon. So that was fun.
The moral of the story is, do not always trust Twitter.
Don't trust the internet. Yeah, do your due diligence, kids. Do a little research. Make sure you don't look like an idiot on television and the internet. All right, so we're switch topics a little bit. We just got done talking about Julian's favorite video games, or one of, rather. And,
that might as well be the one.
Might as well be the one. That's just it. Okay.
I mean, I cannot think of any other most loved game of mine at the moment. Tetris might be the number one, followed by Don't hate me for this. Minecraft?
You're dead to me.
Okay.
We're moving on. Johnson & Johnson has been ordered to pay a man, and I need everyone listening to like kind of perk up their ears because, you know, this is not a passive part. Johnson & Johnson has been ordered to pay a man $8 billion over a lawsuit. That is with a B. That is 1,000 million.
Oh.
$8 billion because this man essentially... Long story short here, let me just read the article real quick.
Okay.
U.S. drug firm Johnson & Johnson has been told to pay $8 billion in punitive damages to a man over claims that he was not warned that an antipsychotic drug could lead to breast growth. This man took antipsychotic medications and he grew the boobies. Now, that's kind of funny, except for the fact that you realize that man actually grew boobs. And furthermore, Johnson & Johnson has been ordered to pay them $8 billion.
So wait.
A Philadelphia jury made the award to Nicholas Murray, 26. Holy crap. I didn't realize he was so young. Whose case was one of thousands pending in the state. His lawyers argued Johnson & Johnson's subsidiary, Janssen, put profits over patients in marketing the drug Risperdal. Risperdal.
Oh my God, that's a hard name.
Risperdal. Yeah. So Professor Carl Tobias of the University of Richmond School of Law said he expected the large damages awarded to be lowered on an appeal. Yeah, likely. Probably. $8 billion to a 26-year-old man who accidentally grew boobs. A jury, if it's outrageous enough conduct, will award a big number and let the lawyers and judges work it out, he said. So...
But wasn't a warning on the label at all?
No, apparently there was no warning. There's no warning that one of the possible side effects was breast growth.
Well, I guess I know what the man is going to do for the next few weeks, playing around with his new set of, you know.
Well, the boobs aren't new. The money is. But Johnson & Johnson are saying they're going to appeal. They're not going to take this lying down. They're looking to get this. Basically, they're going to get it lowered by a considerable amount, if absolutely nothing else.
I mean, $8 billion. Tell me 10 people who have $10 billion that can spend without suffering any consequences, like bankruptcy or anything. Only a few people.
I don't normally hang out with billionaires, so I can't really name off anybody off the top of my head.
Sadly, me neither.
Yeah, real sad, unfortunately. Oh, my goodness. All right. So, yeah, no, it's I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel. First of all, I don't know the drug. I don't know much about it. It only tells me what I've got in the article in front of me, but it was... I mean, other lawsuits listed in this are talking about, like, one man got $20.4 million for a similar lawsuit. Another man got $1.75 million for a similar lawsuit. So one way or the other, this man's walking away a millionaire.
With a new set of boobs.
Well, I think he's probably going to get those taken care of.
Oh yeah, I believe so. Unless
maybe he doesn't. Maybe he makes lemonade out of lemons. Maybe he's got a new set of toys. I don't know.
Hey, I may have boobs, but I have $8 billion in my pocket. Yeah. Not really, but
don't stare at my boobs. Stare at the size of my wallet. So no, it's. Apparently the drug was approved for treatment for schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, but doctors can legally prescribe medication for any condition they see fit.
Wow.
You're super depressed because you got no money? Take this for 3 months.
Your ankle hurts? Take this too.
Take this too.
Jesus Christ.
The company said it is confident the ruling will be overturned and said the court prevented their legal team from presenting key evidence on the drug's labeling. Hey, your drugs caused boobs.
I mean, it's a little late for that. The damage has been done. The thing, I don't know how many people have suffered this already, but
I think what Johnson & Johnson is trying to say there is that the court didn't allow them to point out, be like, no, look, see right here on the bottom of the bottle where it's, no, it actually says may cause boobs.
Oh my God.
Like in very tiny lettering. Like that, look, see, it says right here. But to a certain extent, like there's doctors out there who trust the pharmaceutical companies to have the drugs do what they say they're going to do with, limited side effects. And so they prescribe an antipsychotic medication for their patient, and they don't expect the next result to be like, hey man, I am high on life, but these tits are getting in the way. I mean, that's not what you expect from it.
I'll see you in court.
I'll see you in court. Thanks for the boobs. So, no, it's very unfortunate. It's one of those where,
yeah, we
from
shouldn't be
the outside
laughing.
we're able to laugh. This man may actually be in a lot of like, I don't want these things. They're tender, or whatnot. I don't know. I don't know what's going through his head right now. He may be enjoying those, but he probably is going to end up with at least $1 million, regardless of what the lawyers say. He's going to end up with quite a bit of money. All right, so
$8 billion. Jesus,
$8 billion. Now, here's the thing: I really suspect that the $8 billion is going to get reduced to like 20, 30 million.
Still
I don't expect him.
Pretty good number, if you ask me. I mean, from 8 billion to 20, it's just like a.
Well, first of all, if you go from 8, I had $8 billion. Now I have 20 million. That's depressing as hell, man.
Yeah, but you still have more money than 80% of the entire world. People.
Well, if you live in America, that's automatically a go.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have $20 million, you have more money than probably 95% of America, which is 99% of the world. But the point is,
look at you.
I'm just saying,
okay.
Things happen, stuff happens. No. We're done. We're done talking about pharmaceutical drugs screwing up and causing people to gain money and get boobs. So here's the thing. That was interesting. But you know what's more interesting?
What is it?
It's when we do a brand new segment called Video Game Reviews. We're going to come up with a better title. That's a working title. It's a working title. We're literally doing this on the fly. Patent pending.
Not steal.
It's definitely not patent pending. I am not patenting that. That is a garbage name. But the idea is that once every once in a while, we're going to do a video game review of something that we've been playing, or one of us has been playing, possibly been recording a little bit of, because if you did not know, Julian and I both do YouTube stuff. We often do videos together. So if you like to hear us rant and rave back and forth, then you should probably check those out. Those links are going to be in the description, by the way. What we recently played was a little game that I suggested to Julian, and I said, Julian, I saw this video or this game. I think we should play this game. And you were like, I don't think we should play it. And I was like, you shut your mouth. We're playing this game.
That's
and
totally true.
Like, super cheap, by the way.
That is also
That's
true.
That's upsetting.
Yeah, but like I said earlier, back when I was about to buy it, our country's economy is as stable as a jelly table.
I believe the way you said it was better. He said, our currency is as stable as a table made out of Jell-O.
Well, yeah.
Which I thought was funny as hell. So
anyways,
the game we're talking about is a game called Spy Party. Now, for those uninitiated, a brief rundown of Spy Party would be, well, Julian, you wrote it out. You go ahead and tell us.
All right, so basically the game is a 2-player only online competitive game where one player plays as a spy and the other one plays as a sniper. Basically, what you got to do as a spy is to complete objectives, actually a set of missions that you get from different levels, depending on which level you take. Like, for example, you get to swap statues or contacting your double agent. And as the sniper, you're tasked with taking down the spy before it's able to complete the objective, basically.
Yes, before the spy can complete everything they need to do.
Yes, but the catch is, as the sniper, you only get one bullet. One shot is all it takes. Now, there are a few rules to follow. There's a time limit depending on the level.
No, there's always a time limit. The level just kind of determines how long that is.
And also, depending on the level, like I said earlier, the objectives changes and the amount of people that are wandering around the party. Because as a sniper, you got to spot the spy, but you are surrounded by at least 7 people, and it gets difficult the more people are in the party.
Yes.
Now, there are some tools you can use as a sniper to help you throughout.
Hold on. There's tools that I was unaware of. I thought you just had to pay attention and shoot people.
Yeah, I mean, you can, as the game puts it, you can highlight people that you think they are.
Yes.
to make them stand out from the rest and low light the ones you don't need to pay attention to.
Or that you don't think you should pay attention to.
Or you think you shouldn't pay attention to, because you can low light, like I did, you can low light the spy and shoot the wrong person.
So essentially there's like a cast of probably around 24 different looking characters, and it's always in like a small room. Everything's taking place in a smaller area, and the spy has to do, like Julian said, different objectives. Sometimes it's contact your double agent, it's swap these small statues out, or seduce a target, bug an ambassador, all these little things like that. And essentially, you have to pay attention to what you're doing, because the sniper could be watching you at any time, and you don't want to give away the fact that you're not an NPC. That's essentially what it is. You have to pretend to be an NPC, and so that the sniper doesn't know who you are, and you end up accomplishing all your tasks. Now, the way in which the sniper wins is that if the spy runs out of time and doesn't accomplish all their tasks, or by shooting the correct person. That's the two ways the sniper can win. And the ways the spy can win is if the sniper shoots the wrong person, which happens a lot.
Which happens.
As well as accomplishing all your tasks before the time runs out. Both are actually fairly difficult. It's fairly difficult, but it's quite a lot of fun. So, Julian, overall, what are your thoughts on the game? Like your personal opinion. What do you think of the game?
Well, one of my lungs still hurting from so much laughter. That much seals it. The game is a lot of fun. It is difficult. Like I kept saying while we were recording. Like I said, how many times I've said it's tough as nails? Like 5 times?
Maybe. I know that it's deceptively difficult. The concept is simple, but when you approach it, it's just like, oh God. First of all, the spy has a lot more stuff they have to do in like 3 minutes than you think they do. And the sniper has to try and catch all of it, which is also really hard because there's so many people walking around. So yeah, it's not simple.
Not to mention, as the spy, you can see the laser sight from the sniper going around the room. So it's not like you're clueless of what the sniper is doing as a spy.
Oh yeah, you know what they're looking at any given time.
Yeah.
So, oh man.
Oh my God.
Ooh, there's some awesome ones. Oh my goodness. We recently recorded about an hour session of it, and it was so stupid fun. So Julian, would you give it a thumbs up, or would you give it
I will give it 3 thumbs up. If I have another hand,
all right.
Yeah.
All right. What's a numeric? If you had to give it a 1 out of 10, or not a 1 out of 10.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10. The game is still in early access by the time this podcast, my God, words are hard, is out. So I don't know what else can they make in the game. Maybe, I don't know, making a moving section, like there's a truck or something going on and you gotta catch them with a helicopter. The game is still in early access. The game has a lot of unlockables. And
what are you talking about, helicopters and stuff, dude? The title's called Spy Party.
Well, I mean, haven't you ever been in a party on a moving truck? That shit is the best.
You've been playing too many other games. So long story short, Spy Party is, I would give it about an 8 out of 10 as well. I was very happy with what we received. I gotta be honest, some of the menus, especially like joining games, looked like garbage. But once you're in the game, you forget and it's fine. If you do decide to get the game off of Steam or anyone else or anywhere else, I highly recommend getting a friend to get the game to play with you, because if you just jump on there and start playing against people who know what the hell they're doing, you're going to have a bad time.
Like a horrible time.
Like a bad time.
Luckily, the game has a tutorial that is way too self-aware of itself. It's hilarious.
It is self-aware. More to the point, though, is if you decide to play that game with a bunch of people who've played before, you're going to have a bad time, because you need somebody who's going to learn along with you.
Oh, yeah.
To really have a good time. But yeah, no, I'd give it about an 8 out of 10. Honestly, I really, really recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It's, my God, just there's nothing like scaring the hell out of a friend when you go, oh, hey, I got you. Sniped him in the face real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I scared Julian a couple of times with some of my shots, and I upset myself.
Yeah, it makes you jump off your seat. It is scary.
It's not scary, you big baby.
One thing I may change on this game, I don't think it's worth $25.
Yeah, the price is a little steep. especially for still early access and what you get out of it. I would say $15, maybe 20, but 25 kind of pushes it a little bit.
Yeah, $15 will be fine.
But even, I've already paid the price, and Julian paid, what was it, Julian?
I paid $5 because our economy is so broken. Prices on Steam, despite the fact they don't accept our pesos, the prices are still converted through the current value, and I paid only $5.
Yeah, so you should shut up. So
I'm still complaining about the fact that it cost $25, as much as I complain about Nintendo charging $15 for, $20 for a Untitled Goose Game, but Epic Games charges you only $5. But that's another story.
that's a different story for a different time. But yeah, you didn't pay $25. I paid $25. I should be the one complaining about the money. But overall, I'm happy that I bought it. I think Julian's happy that he bought his.
Oh, yeah.
It was a lot of fun. We both recommend Spy Party. Go ahead and check that out now. Okay, we're going to get away from the game review, and we're going to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart, not because I actually come from the great state of Florida, but because Florida Man is the superhero we never wanted and do not deserve. So we're going to go back to our Florida Man weekly segment. We've got a couple of really good ones here. Let me go ahead and pull these up. This one comes from a website called The Stonk Market, which immediately raises flags. I don't know much about that, but
I wonder.
You know what? It's fine. This one is written kind of like they take essential liberties with the some of the details, but it's mostly meant in humor. But the overall title has checked out because I've seen the headline in other places. Florida man drives drunk through school zone, steals cough medicine from a grocery store, and causes chaos at a nightclub. Now, that doesn't sound like, oh, that's kind of tame for Florida man. Hold your horses. So,
oh my God.
If I remember this, and I read this whole thing, it was first of all, the article, Julian, if you go look up the article that I'm looking at,
I'm looking at the article, the picture that
shot of this guy.
Yeah.
He's got a massive snot thing just dangling from his nose.
No justice was given on this picture at all.
He didn't snort that thing up. He didn't wipe it on a sleeve. No, it looks like he's got like a condom full of cocaine dripping out of his face. It's huge. So
yeah, it is awful. It reaches down to the lower lip. That's
yeah,
how
it reaches
big it
down
is.
to his lower lip. It's quite a bit. It's nasty. Anyway, so essentially, like the first two are Florida man drives drunk through school zone, kind of self-explanatory. Steals cough medicine from grocery store, also self-explanatory. Causes chaos at a nightclub. Now, what kind of chaos do you think Florida man causes in a nightclub, Julian?
I mean, I already thought it was a chaos in and all itself, but what kind of chaos could this guy commit? I don't know, drive in with a car and then start partying?
No. Apparently he snuck in after insulting the bouncers and then started to insult drunkenly all the people at the party.
All you bouncers are dicks.
So beware of some potentially coarse language as I read actual quotes on the police record of what this man said. Are you ready?
Oh, let's hear it.
So,
Okay.
I can't get it out without laughing. So at one point, the Florida man approached a young lady dancing at the nightclub, and the conversation supposedly went something along these lines, accusedly went something along these lines. Florida man found a young lady, a black-haired college girl. Apparently he yelled at her, "Are you hungry?"
Oh.
They had never spoken before. He yelled, "Are you hungry?" at this woman.
Hey girl, are you hungry?
Basically. Only more like only Florida man can. He's like, "Are you hungry?" So he's apparently she ignored him, and he walked right up to her, grabbed her by the shoulder, and spun her around violently and said, "I said, bitch, are you hungry?"
Oh God.
She supposedly basically told the man to not touch her. And then he said, "You look hungry. Why don't you eat something, you skinny bitch?"
Oh.
So Florida man apparently stated in a much calmer manner than I read, and then walked away. So Florida man is going by and like accosting these people. So apparently another thing was he walked up to one of the giant beefy bodybuilder guys, And he just said, "Hey, doofus." Apparently, these are all in the police report, by the way. And it says the doofus, the big bodybuilder fella, apparently responded with, "What up, buddy? Are you lost?" And then Florida man, God bless Florida man, decided to say, "Someone forgot about leg day. Toothpick legs."
Oh, damn.
Apparently, supposedly, the guy says that Florida man whispered that into his ear and then left.
How can you whisper at someone in a nightclub? That place should be loud as hell.
Getting really close, Julian.
But still.
You get really close.
Okay. Wow, toothpick.
Apparently,
legs.
he proceeded to insult the DJ, the bartender, a group of apparently a group of girls out on a that were at a bachelorette party for the night. So yeah, no, he went off and he proceeded to do this until literally the cops were called on him, and he was hauled away on it.
Jeez. I mean, after shouting at a lady, wouldn't she call the police right away? Hey, this man called me bitch and told me that I'm too thin. I need to eat food. Arrest him. I don't think that'll work.
Illegal. That's not illegal.
But still.
What is she going to call the cops on? This guy said a thing I didn't like. Get over it, princess.
Now that you put it that way, yeah, may not work.
Probably not. The cops are going to be like, yeah, he didn't do anything illegal. But yeah, I might need to arrest you for a false police report. Let's go. So, one of those kind of things. So we're going to get away from that Florida man who's basically like just drunk and belligerent. We're going to go over to a...
Next.
Oh, God bless this man. So before I start, I want to get the man's age. I think it was 26. Very young boy. All right. So it's not saying his age. He looks about 26.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to read this article. This article comes from The Stonk once again.
Oh boy. I wonder. Bring it.
Florida man. Lottery winner arrested after releasing 145,987 snakes at his former work.
Sorry, how many?
Just under 150,000. Okay. A Florida man was arrested for buying nearly 150,000 snakes and releasing them at his former work only 2 days after he won $46 million in the lottery. Now, here's the thing. This story might be a little bit exaggerated, and I'm 100% okay with that. But it's because it's funny as hell. Snakes and lottery don't go together. Maybe snakes and Indiana Jones or snakes on a plane. But when Florida man won the lottery, snakes in the lottery may be the next new hit thing. Jordan Jones, the young man arrested, was just a regular man. He worked a regular job at a bagger at a local grocery store. He released 150,000 snakes in a grocery store.
And he decided to buy that many snakes.
As a lottery winner would do, Jordan bought a new car, purchased a brand new $2 million home, and quit his job. But before he quit his job, you'll be shocked at what he did. Not really. I read the headline. So,
thank you, the stunk market.
So basically, this man released a metric F ton of snakes into his former, how did this not make nationwide news? There's two possibilities. There's two possibilities. One, there was other bigger things going on, or it's fake. It's very possibly fake. But given the history of Florida man, it's right up there with what Florida man would do. So either way, Florida man, I salute you. Either you're fictional or true. Because let's be honest, the Florida man stuff we looked up recently, to get the stuff for the Florida man segment, a lot of it was super dark. A lot of it was really dark. A lot of it involved sexual assault and none of it was funny.
Yeah, no.
So I'll go with the potentially fake snake story over the man who was once accused of putting a girl in an oven through,
good grief.
What was it? Boiling water on a toddler. I'm going to go with the funny stuff over the Florida man's going through a bad time kind of thing.
That is dark. Yeah, no. Those actually kind of put me in a down mood before starting the podcast. So imagine how bad
you're
they
right.
are.
That's why I didn't want to read them, even though I just mentioned one. But that's not the point. So, it was just Jesus Christ, man.
They were messed up.
That's more than messed up. That's a lot of messed up right there. So it's one of those things. I don't know.
Instead, we prefer to read about a guy who bought 145,987 snakes that we may not know if it is true.
I have got a sneaking suspicion it's not. And I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with that. I'm like, there's no way this can be true, but it's way better than the alternative.
Of course. So, I totally agree on that regard.
All right, so we're going to get away from the potentially dangerous or lying Florida man articles, and we're going to go and talk about another thing that's coming up recently. It's more video game news. It is with Steam is actually making so that you can play local multiplayer online.
Damn! This is huge news, for me at least.
For those that don't know, games like on Steam, like Fight and Rage, that you may have heard Julian or me talking about at some point, because we actually play occasionally like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a local multiplayer only. So even though the game is purchasable online and purchasable through an online store, it's still like, no. In the age of long distance, gameplay, online multiplayer, no, we're going to still stick with local multiplayer. So that's one example of a game that should have. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why they don't. It's like saying, hey, Rocket League, guess what? We're going to turn off online multiplayer.
To be fair, there are some people complaining about the fact that some games come with no local multiplayer. So we have the two sides. The games that had only local and the games that only have online multiplayer.
No, I think if it's a multiplayer game, I think they should have local and multiplayer.
Yeah, but some games you cannot do that. But regardless.
Let me put it this way. It's one of those things where essentially, if you buy a game and it's like, hey, this is a game that I can play online with friends, why can I not also play locally? It doesn't make sense to me. But at the same time, if I buy a game and it's like an online game you can play, and it's like, hey, there's only local multiplayer. What the hell's going on?
Perfect.
I should be able to play with my buddies who live in Argentina without having to do that stuff. So essentially, if you've ever heard us talk about a program called Parsec that essentially allows you to do the exact same thing, Steam is basically setting it up, and they're coming out with their own process to allow people that buy the games in their store to play those games in the local multiplayer, slot.
Finally. It only took them, 16 years.
I don't know how big the demand for it was. So, I wouldn't, as a business, I don't put my money into things that I don't think people are going to like. But I'm glad they're doing it. I'm really glad they're doing it. Finally, there's a means for idiots like me and Julian to play local multiplayer games, long range, and then complain about the lag and blame Steam and be like, you know what, I'm not buying anything anymore.
Oh, yeah. The lag is going to be a major factor here. But if you play with people in the same country or next to you, it shouldn't be much of an issue. Although, and going back to the fighting rage, we managed to play it, and I was the one connecting to Rival's computer, to Adam's computer, and there was lag. I'm not gonna lie on that regard, but it wasn't so bad that I couldn't play it. I actually was playing just as fine as if I was there.
Yeah, you were still beating me on points. Don't remind me.
I still had to plan ahead a little bit, but it is not as bad as that attempt we did with Super Mario Maker 2.
Oh, sweet heavens, no.
It wasn't as bad at all.
Oh, my God. So for anyone who's listening to the podcast, hasn't seen our YouTube videos and whatnot, you really should go out and check those out, because basically everything Julian's referencing that's a set of videos we did. For those that don't know, Mario Maker recently came out with an update that apparently people have been asking for 3 years since the first one came out. Long story short is you can now play online with friends, and that's a thing I thought they should have done before anyway. Come on, Nintendo, you print money. Why the hell aren't you doing this?
They say they would do that right after the game got released, so it's not that they were not planning about that. They didn't know how yet, but now it is, and it works like crap for us, at least.
At least for us. Oh my God, the video we got out of it. Oh, sweet heavens.
I'm surprised that video got up in the first place. Yeah, it was awful. We cannot stress that enough.
Imagine playing Mario on moon gravity, but then it was, imagine playing everything on moon gravity, only
with lag.
but
as
with
well.
lag. So like there was input lag and moon gravity. No. That was
Lag
awful.
and slow motion. It was awful. And I can't find any better word to describe it. It was awful, atrocious, abysmal. Not recommended.
I think they get the point there, Kevin. So hopefully whatever Steam manages to put together for this online local multiplayer thing, hopefully they're able to do a better job than what Nintendo did for us. So in any future videos, hopefully it doesn't end up looking like that Mario Maker one. So yeah, that's essentially what's going on with that one. We're really excited about it, and you can hear it in our voices. We're clearly calm.
I mean, we do have an alternative already, but if Steam's managed to pull it off, Parsec is going to be out of my computer.
Yeah, we won't need it, especially if it works better than Parsec, and that would be fantastic.
I wonder how much better could it work. It was working pretty well. I mean, the quality of the streaming from my end was kind of garbage, but I could distinguish things. I could play it all right.
So our last topic that we have prepared for you today is a little thing called lawsuit.
Another lawsuit, another video game.
Seems to be big in the world right now. Everybody's suing everybody. So essentially it says, lawsuit, Fortnite is as addictive as cocaine, ruins lives. Now, I'm going to read a bit in the article, and then we're going to kind of discuss that a bit.
All right, go on.
It says that on Thursday, this past Thursday, a Canadian law firm filed a notice requesting permission to launch a class action lawsuit against Epic Games. Epic Games are the makers of Fortnite.
Okay.
So, and remember, Fortnite is so incredibly popular, people make a living off of that game by playing it in tournaments and all this other stuff. So it's a very, very popular. So this class action lawsuit was essentially launched by on behalf of two parents in Quebec. Remember, this is Canada. Damn Canadians. The reason the parents want to sue, ? They believe Fortnite is as addictive as cocaine, and that Epic, the makers of Fortnite, intentionally made it to hook kids.
What?
I mean, if you read how Fortnite, the Battle Royale, came about, I don't think that was it at all. First of all, if you've played Fortnite, there's actually a single player game in Fortnite. It's actually just Fortnite. Now, Fortnite Battle Royale is the one that everybody just refers to as Fortnite. And that was made, essentially, they were making the regular game Fortnite. It's like this, it's kind of honestly, it's like a base building survival thing, but it's not, it's really dumbed down.
Kind of like teaching you the mechanics of the game, basically.
No, it's a full-on fledged single-player story.
I mean, if you couldn't tell by now, I never played Fortnite.
Clearly.
But I know the premises of the game.
So essentially, the single-player game was all that it was until two developers in the thing said, you know what, this PUBG stuff is really kicking off, and I think we could actually make, with the assets that we already have, I think we can make a similar thing and see how that works out. Well, they made a similar game with it, and look how it turned out. It's bigger than the thing that they tried to emulate.
Yep, they kicked their asses, and the game is free.
Now, again, Fortnite Battle Royale looks exactly like the regular game. The graphics are the same, the models are the same, the guns and everything in there are the same, but Fortnite was originally made to be a single-player game. It was not meant to be a Battle Royale game.
Ha!
They merely adapted that by adding that in there. So saying something like it was addictive and meant to hook kids, that's not totally accurate because they literally just took the assets that they had. So I'm going to go ahead and rule that out. But here we go. Canada's Global News reported on Friday that two parents reached out to Calex Legal separately because their sons had quickly become, quote, dependent on Fortnite. Really? Your sons were dependent? Like air?
Yeah, how do you depend?
Your sons are dependent on love, food, water, taking poops.
But Fortnite?
No. Fortnite they can literally live without. They wouldn't like it. They'd be upset, but they can live without it. One parent claims in their filing that their 10-year-old son had been playing the game almost daily for months and becomes very frustrated and angry whenever the parent tries to limit his playtime. It's your job as a parent. You have to take, you know what? Be like, look, son, all you do is play this game. I can't let you do that. Well, he became very frustrated and angry, so I let him just go back and doing it. Well, this is where you fall apart as a parent. No, you have to be able to stand up and be like, you know what? You're going to do this? Guess what? I'm getting rid of the thing that has Fortnite now. I'm getting rid of your Xbox. You're grounded from your Xbox. You can't touch it. You can't touch it for a month. Every time you backsass me, I'm adding another month to it. You know, you have to put your foot down. Oh, I'm a harsh parent. I've said it many times. I've told my wife, Gidget, I was like, look, you're going to be the nurturing one. I'm going to be the punisher. It's just how it's going to happen. I know it. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not putting up with your sass. You don't get to be a freeloading piece of garbage in my house. You don't get to backsass me, eat my food, use up all my water and my heat, and then sit there and play a game and ignore everything I tell you. No. There are rules. I invest the rules. I invent the rules, and I use them at whim depending on how I feel.
Because you're the parent.
That's a different story anyway. This is the one where the right amount of rant takes on the name because I'm about to start really ranting. I can feel it. It's starting to boil my blood. So the other parent says in the filing that their 15-year-old son quickly developed an addiction to Fortnite. There's no way to be addicted to a video game. You cannot be addicted. An addiction is a chemical need. Okay? Like alcohol. You develop an alcohol addiction. You develop an actual physical chemical need for alcohol.
Okay. But, well, I mean, the word addiction can be used so liberally with any topic. Liberally?
Loosely. It can be used loosely with those things. But that's the problem. People use the word and they don't understand that they're being metaphorical. They know he's actually addicted to Fortnite. Really? Really? I bet he's not. So the lawsuit goes on to note that some Fortnite players don't eat or shower and no longer socialize.
But that's been always a thing. This is not new.
This is not new. There are people, least we forget, every time World of Warcraft came out with a new expansion, someone died.
Oh, Christ.
Every expansion that World of Warcraft has ever put out, someone has died. It was on the rush to get to that next level high, that first one to hit that next level cap. Someone died. There are news stories about like people that like decided to wear diapers so they didn't have to stop leveling.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, they thought cutting 5 minutes out of their 5 to 10 minutes out of their overall, gaming experience to level up as fastly as possible. To level as fast as possible. 5 to 10 minutes. Oh, there are people that wore diapers. There are people that died because they didn't eat or use the bathroom while attempting to level and hit that level cap. So yeah, was Blizzard sued over that? I don't know. I actually do not know the answer to that question. Should they have been? No. 100% no. They are not responsible for the choices that other people make. Just like Epic Games is not responsible for these people doing that. I do not believe that they actually targeted kids. I don't, because I know the history of how their single player game was failing. It was not selling well. It was not doing well. And Epic Games was actually about to go bankrupt until they made the Battle Royale version of Fortnite. But because Fortnite Battle Royale took off so much, they're now one of the biggest game companies in the friggin' world. But do they market it toward children? Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
Not, well, I mean,
but they also market it toward everybody. It's family friendly.
Emphasis on family friendly.
As much as a game about going around and killing everybody else on the map can be family friendly, but I mean, there's no blood. It's all kind of stylized animations. It's all, there's no blood. There's no blood. Nobody actually dies. They just fall on the ground and they get like zipped away. So it's a fun game. I don't actually play it that much, but it's still a fun game. I know it is. I mean, it's a fun game because it's colorful. It's always changing things up. It's always adding new stuff to it.
And most important, it's free.
It is free. And I've talked to people at work about this, and they say, oh, no, absolutely. It is as addictive as cocaine. And I said, I think you don't understand how addictive cocaine is.
Have you tried cocaine?
And while I disagree with them, I still respect their opinion, even if I think they're no. So the point is that no, I do not agree that Fortnite is as addictive as cocaine. Because to make that comparison, first of all, you have to say, is Fortnite addictive? Because if you say yes, then you're missing the point of what addictive means. Okay. If you say it's as addictive as cocaine, you ignore how addictive cocaine is. Cocaine is like super addictive. People lose their lives literally to cocaine. They end up homeless because of cocaine. They end up, orally stimulating other people's genitals in alleyways because of cocaine.
Wow.
It's one of those things where it's tough to compare it to a super hard drug like cocaine. Oh yeah, you see this all these colorful lights and these sounds and this fun gameplay. Yeah, that's cocaine there.
That's cocaine for you.
That's cocaine.
That's acid.
That's cocaine. So the rest of the article reads as this, quote, addiction specialists. That Fortnite is addictive is just one part of the lawsuit. Another alarming claim is the allegation that Epic Games wanted it to be addictive. Epic Games, when they created Fortnite for years and years, hired psychologists. They really dug into the human brain and they really made that effort to make it as addictive as possible. They knowingly put on the market a very, very addictive game, which was also geared toward youth. First of all, some of the most addictive games you're going to find on the planet are actually mobile games. Those are psychologically designed to give you feedback that stimulates you to continue playing. Like if you play, let's say like Candy Crush, one of the more popular ones.
Oh God!
Literally, the lights and sounds of you doing a simple action, giving you positive feedback. That is a psychological reaction that encourages you to keep playing.
I didn't think about that way. Oh my God!
There are a lot of games that use psychological triggers to encourage you to keep playing. Lots and lots of them. So when they say they created Fortnite for years and years, first of all, Fortnite has only been out for like 2 years, 3 years maybe.
Yeah, it's been released 2 years ago.
So they're kind of reaching with the years and years stuff. But furthermore, it's like this. Like I said, Fortnite, first single player game. That's what it started off as. They were a failing company. They attempted to do this. They used the assets that they had before. Now, let's say, hypothetically, Fortnite never became a battle royale. Okay, let's say hypothetically, they never became a battle royale. That they just stuck to the guns of the single player game. And let's say the single player game was really did very, very well. And a lot of kids played that a lot. Would they be accusing them of being addictive then?
I mean, if it reaches the same popularity, I presume they would.
But why?
Because
it's a game geared toward kids. It's literally the exact same assets. In-game assets between the two of them. That's the comparison I'm drawing. I don't think they would. I don't think they would be doing that because, first of all, the accusation on its face is absurd. Video games are not addictive. I should know. I've got a horrible need to play games that are addictive. But the point with that is that it's not that the games are addictive. It's that I have no impulse control. Like, I want to keep playing because I want to keep playing. That's it. I know I shouldn't, but it's not
to do it
the game itself. It's not the game. It's the fact that I want to keep playing. It's an impulse control issue. It's like, look, I used to play World of Warcraft a lot. And this is going to be my comparison to people saying that they're addictive, because I've heard a lot of people say that they're also addictive to playing World of Warcraft. No, here's the thing is that when you decide, and at one point some of us have, that playing a game is more important than your social relationships, your family, your friends, that's you. There's plenty of people that I talk to that also had issues with playing World of Warcraft too much. That one of the things of World of Warcraft is it actually encourages you to, it literally, in words, says, hey, you've been playing a long time. You need to take a break.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
It tells you to stop. Well, it suggests you to stop. Wow.
Yes. So anyone who keeps playing past that point, they know what they're doing. The game is aware of it. It's attempting to get you to be like, hey, everything in moderation, even World of Warcraft. Go outside. Do stuff with friends. So, and like things that people claim are addictive, it's not actually addictive. It's an impulse control issue. when I had problems playing World of Warcraft too much when I was younger, it was me. It was me doing it. It was me deciding that the friends and relationships and the achievements that I gained from inside of that were more important than the people that I should have been talking to.
It's not like the game grabbed you by the hand and told you, keep playing or else I'll murder you. No. You decide to do it.
And what does Fortnite do? Fortnite, the Battle Royale version, let's be honest, that's what we're actually talking about here. Fortnite is, if you die in a match, you can leave and instantly join a new one. So you can constantly do it over and over and over and over again. Now, the problem is it's incredibly repetitive, right?
Right.
Now, you can get good, you can get bad, you can get good drops, you can get bad drops. Overall, though, it's all going to come down to the same thing. It's going to be repetitive. So the only way that these kids are going to be able to continue playing it, literally, is a couple of different things. But all of them have to align. One, they have to not get bored. But we all know kids get bored at some point. So if to say that they're addictive, why? Because they have colorful lights and sounds? Well, then so many other things are addictive. Go to any casino. Look at any slot machine. That stuff has lights, sounds, reactions to what you do to it. Yeah, that's all psychological stuff, but it's also what makes something entertaining. So
that is
you
true.
can go either way with that. But then again, for these kids who say, oh, they're addicted, aren't the parents ultimately in control of this? Aren't the parents ultimately the ones that say, hey, look, you have a problem with playing too much Fortnite. And if the kid gives you a hassle, you're like, look, this is not up for discussion. This is not up for discussion. I'm taking away your Fortnite until I believe that you can handle it. If they give you more sass, then you lock them in a closet and you throw away the Xbox.
My God.
I'm just saying, there are steps you can take to do. Please don't lock your kids in a closet.
It's your responsibility to form your kids. If you let them take over you, that's your fault. It's not the game's fault. But here's the thing. Given the facts now, I think the parents, it's easier to blame the company who developed the game than blaming themselves for being bad parents.
It always is. And it always will be easier to blame someone else than take responsibility. Now, if anyone in the comments were like, well, yeah, they disagree with me adamantly, and they say something like, oh, yeah, well, would you let your kid play Fortnite? Hell yeah. Absolutely. 100%. You know what also I would do? 2-hour limit. You better make sure that you want to play Fortnite. You better make sure that when you start, you get 2 hours. You don't get an extension on those 2 hours. You got 2 hours. You better make sure your friends are online, but that's all you get. And it's after you get your homework done. After that, you're going to spend time with the family, damn it. That's it. That's the bottom line. You got to set some ground rules. And if you're like my kid, all he ever does is play Fortnite. Well, guess what? Make them do other things.
You're failing as a parent.
They're little people. Well, he's 15. Okay. Does he still live in your house? Yeah. Does he still eat your food? Yeah. Is he still, your responsibility? Well, then he has to do what you say. And if you give me the whole, well, he doesn't want to do it. Well,
too bad.
There are excessive measures. My dad took extreme measures with me when I was a kid. And I'm very thankful that he did. Was I happy at the time? No, not in the least. But like when you remove my door off my door frame, to my bedroom, the place where they slam the door, they lock the door. Like, I'm just going to play Fortnite all day because I've got my Xbox my parents paid for with my television my parents paid for. No, guess what? My dad removed my TV from my room. My dad removed all of my electronics from my room. You know what he put in my room instead?
A book?
Books.
Oh, damn. I was close.
He put books in my room. He said, you're not allowed to leave that room. You're grounded for a month.
Oh.
You're not allowed to go outside and play with your friend. Then we got into a big heated argument beforehand, so it was a punishment. The point is, like, he took steps. He was like, no, you've got books. I said, Dad, give me back my stuff. He goes, you misunderstand. Just because it's in your room doesn't make it your stuff. It's my stuff. I let you use it. And that was a bit of a turning point for me, because I realized in that moment that he didn't buy me stuff for me. He bought stuff to let me use it, and it's still his stuff. Like, I didn't gain ownership of it because it was in my room, because my room was still his house. So, yeah, no, these parents blaming, no. If it's that bad, take it away. And this may be a little bit of ignorance on my part, but I don't see how Epic Games could possibly be held accountable for this.
Next time they're gonna put a message saying, you're being playing for too long, would you consider just take a rest? Or they flat out take the control away from you, turn off the console, and play you some Teletubbies for good measure.
Why would, oh God, that's horrible. So here's the thing. Even though this article is wonky, super short, Fortnite is incredibly popular. Are there kids that can play too much of it? 100%. Abso-freaking-lutely. But ultimately, isn't it the parents' job to make sure that, their kids are not being overly exposed to things?
But they don't want to parent.
I'm not asking if they want to. I'm asking if it's their responsibility.
Oh, yeah, that is.
Doesn't it basically fall on them to make sure that it gets taken care of?
Absolutely.
Then I don't see the problem in pointing out that you shouldn't be able to sue a video game company because you didn't do your job of making sure that your kid wasn't an addictive, idiot. No. And for the record, I'm using the word addictive there, ironically. The kids aren't addicted. They're probably bored. They have nothing else to do. So they play this game online with their friends nonstop because it's a way to stay close to their friends. It's a way to do things that everybody's talking about. Essentially, that's it. Playing Fortnite is what, is popular. So you do the popular things to try and stay popular or because you actually enjoy it. But it doesn't matter why you do it, but you're doing it. But more importantly, everything I'm saying about it is this. Is that yes, I would let my kids play Fortnite. Full disclosure, I don't have kids. So it's one of those things. Julian, shut your mouth. Okay. So the whole thing is that I don't see how Epic's going to actually be effectively sued. The parents aren't parenting. If it wasn't Fortnite, it would be something else they're suing. It would be it might be PUBG instead. If PUBG still had the limelight, but it doesn't.
Or the new recently mobile game released, Call of Duty Mobile. Yeah,
and PUBG Mobile is apparently looking really good too. But that's a different topic. So I've gone on enough of a bit of a sad tirade here. I'm not happy with the fact that people Fortnite's addictive. No, it's not. Video games are not addictive. People have no impulse control. Stop blaming video games for your shortcomings.
Stop blaming someone else for your mistakes.
And with that, friends, we greatly appreciate you listening to my stupid tirade at the end there. And we wish you a great rest of your day. Thank you all so much for being with us. And we'll catch you next week.
See ya.
Stay awesome, friends.